Namaste children, this is your A Nurser, a lesson for class 8th Andhra Pradesh state syllabus students. A poem by Elizabeth Barrett Browning, The Cry of Children. Elizabeth Barrett Browning was the most prominent poet in the Victoria era. Her works were immensely famous in England and America. She devotedly brought several social issues to light, such as child labor, slavery, and oppression of women. In this poem, she explored the difficulties of children who were working in mines and factories. She concluded the grinding, droning mechanism of industrial society which destroys the promise and hope of human life. For, oh, say the children, we are weary and we can't run or leap. If we cared for any meadows, it were merely to drop down in them and sleep. Our knees tremble sorely in the stooping. We fall upon our faces trying to go, and underneath our heavy eyelids drooping, the reddest flower would look as pale as snow. Let me repeat. For oh, say the children, we are weary and we cannot run or leap. If we cared for any meadows, it were merely to drop down in them and sleep. Our knees tremble sorely in the stooping. We fall upon our faces trying to go, and underneath our heavy eyelids drooping, the reddest flower would look as pale as snow. Who are the children mentioned in this poem? They are child labor. So in those days, the labor laws were very strict. One had to work for 12 hours and everything was manually operated, all the machines and everything. And these children were engaged there for 12 hours. And when they come out of their work, they say that they were weary. Weary means what? Tired. So whatever energy was there in them, everything was taken. Everything was taken by the management of the factories. So they say that they are unable to run or leap. Leap means what? Jump, children. They jump because they are very playful. They jump, they run, they play. But here these children, those who were working in factories, because of a tedious job, they complain that they are completely worn out and they are not in a position to run or leap. In case they find any meadow. What is the meaning of meadow? Meadow means lawns. You see, greenery, grass. In playgrounds and in parks we find meadows. In case they find any meadow, they do not have any interest to play on that lawn. Because children, whenever they come across any lawn, they would jump there, play there. But these children, because they are completely exhausted, they do not have any mood to play there. Only one thing they do. What is that? They drop in that lawn and try to sleep. That means they do not have any interest to play at all. They complain that their knees tremble sorely. Tremble means what? Shake. Sorely means what? Seriously. So they have some pain, serious pain in their knees. Why? Because 12 hours they have to bend and they have to work. In coal mines and in factories, they have to bend, they have to sit 12 hours and to work. So in the stooping means what? To bend forward. So while working, they had to bend forward and work for longer hours. Because of that, they have very serious pain in their knees and they cannot stand, they tremble, they shake. Suppose if they want to run or jump, they fall upon their faces. Why? Because they have that shaking sensation in their knees, because of which they fall upon their faces, they fall upon the ground. And not only that, they are unable to open their eyelids. You see, eyelids do not have any weight at all. But for these children, the eyelids seem to be heavier. Why? Because they do not have proper rest. So the eyelids will completely half closed, and because of which the red colored flowers would look as pale as snow. That means completely they are worn out. Completely they are exhausted. That was their condition. So they pray God to have some liberation, some freedom from that child labor. For all day we drag our burden tiring through the cold, dark underground, or all day we drive the wheels of our iron in the factories round and round. Let me repeat. For all day we drag our burden tiring through the cold, dark underground, or all day we drive the wheels of iron in the factories round and round. So here the poet gives the reason why do these children feel that feeling, being get exhausted. Understood? The reason is very simple. The reason is throughout the day they take that workload, and while doing that work they get tired. And where do they work? They work in coal mines underground. You see, while digging the coal from the underground, from the coal mines, you have to be in bending position continuously, because the tunnel would be very clumsy one. Understood? So you should do that digging by bending on your knees. So that load, that burden they take. So that is the reason after finishing the work, they do not have any energy to play, any energy to enjoy the nature, any energy to feel the cushion of the lawns. That is the reason. Not only that, they do work in factories also. And what type of the work they do there? They drive the wheels of iron. You see, in order to make a machine to work, you have to rotate that. Now everything you got, what machines you got, so you need not to rotate the wheels. But in those days, everything was carried manually. Everything was carried manually. So these children were engaged for rotating the wheels continuously without any break. So what made this rotating the wheels continuously? So they felt everything appearing as if they are reeling, as if they are rounding, as if they are rotating and winding. That means everything they had a feeling of reeling, rounding, rotating and winding. So that is the thing. The children praying God, at least for a day, they should not listen this sound. The sounds that are produced in the factories, they wanted to have some relief from those sounds. They wanted to have some rest, at least for one day. That is the prayer of these children to God. Thank you for watching the presentation.